Hi everybody, I'm going to take you through a quick overview of one of Collaborate Align's workflow features. In this example, we've designed a workflow for an approval process for documents, but you can use workflows for anything you like, and you could design them to do an approval process basically in any way that you like. We built a fairly simple one here, so let's get straight into it. If you add a document into a folder, and I've switched the workflow feature on, the workflows are immediately attached to all of the documents uploaded into that folder. And the first thing that happens is the person who's been assigned a task out of that workflow will get a nice friendly email telling them about that task. Here's a close look at that email now, and we can see you've got project details, sender details, details of the drawing, and the actual task. If I click on the drawing link here, it will take me straight through to Collaborate Align and open the necessary drawing so I can see what I've been asked to approve. If I click on the actual task, it takes me again straight into Collaborate Align and the section and folder relevant to actually carry out that task that I've been assigned to do. So here I've got three options that have been built into the approval process. I can approve, I can reject, or I can approve with issues. I can look at the document here if I wish to. Again, if I wanted to make any annotations, I could. But once I'm happy with it, I can go back to my approval process and simply approve the document. The document will automatically advance to the next stage in the process, which in our case is a design review. And these people will now receive another email advising them that they're next up in the approval process. They've been invited to submit feedback, and all they need to do is click on this option to give their feedback. Depending on the rules you've set up, either with all of the users required to contribute, just a few of them, or maybe one of them with a casting vote, the system will move on, or the document will move on from the design review onto the final review. And this again could have been assigned to a different person. They can then approve or reject the document as required. The other thing to say about the way that the approval processes work is that as well as sending an email to the individuals concerned, when any of your team members log in, right on their dashboard, they will see a list of the current tasks that have been assigned to them. Here, James has got some RFIs assigned to him and the string of approvals that we've seen in that previous folder. And once again, if he clicks on any of these approvals, it'll take him straight to the relevant folder where he has the choices immediately available to him. So I'm just going to step back a little bit and actually look what's going on behind the scenes. Here in the Workflows tab, as a system administrator, I can see that I've built up various workflows. Here I've got the standard workflow that we've been looking at, and I've got other workflows which may be a little bit more complex, involving the client, consultant, whoever you want to involve. Looking at our simple one, you can see that we just had a three-stage process. We had a QA check, a design review, and then a final review. And at each stage you can decide here who's going to be responsible for the QA check. We've just got two guys responsible in this area to start with. And then at each node or answer that the user can give, you can decide what action to take. So if the user chooses approve, what we've done here is we've moved the document into a different folder and changing the document status. If the user takes approve with issues, for example, we send a notification to the creator saying your document's been rejected with some issues or been approved with some issues, and then we move the document and or possibly change the status. So you can decide both who can carry out the action and what those actions should achieve. And it's the same for the design review and the final review. I'll just jump quickly into here to show you that as we've collected feedback from various people in this option, we can do a couple of things. Firstly, we can decide who can complete this stage. Can anyone complete it? Or must everyone complete it before it goes on to the next stage? Or maybe one person could have the casting vote. And is there a timeout here? A timeout deadline 1 day, timeout after 7 days. What should happen after 7 days? It should automatically be rejected or approved, or whichever stage you wish to do. So the point with workflows is you've got complete control of both what happens at each stage and what's actually contained with each stage. So you can design it to suit your processes exactly. As a system owner, at any time I can click on this option to get a full status report on where all our approval tasks are at the QA check stage, design, or at final status. And of course you can look at that in your dashboard. If you introduce an appropriate tile right here front and center on your dashboard, you can have a status showing you where your documents are with statuses. And one further thing, if you go back to your original upload folder and look at all the completed workflows that you've got in that folder, you've got a full history of everything that happened in each of those stages. Here's a review of the document we just looked at, where James initially did the QA check, Paul carried out a design review before it finally being approved. And you can get a nice printer-friendly view of that process throughout the lifetime of your project. So at any time during the lifetime of your project or while your system is active, you can see the status and the workflow process of every document and every stage that it's gone through. So I hope you found that useful. That's a fairly pacey run through the sort of thing that workflows can do. If you'd like more information or you'd like a face-to-face demonstration, please call or click. We'd love to hear from you.